All right, guys. Ian Anderson from Central Coast Disc Golf. We got some more 2017 Tim Selinski U.S. Masters. We are super lucky to be joined by the one and only PDGA Media Manager, Marty Gregoire. Say what's up, Marty.
Hello, Ian. Great to be back, as always.
Always glad to have you, my friend. Up today, we got the final rounds. We got a good battle going, and let's watch some disc golf, buddy. All right, gang. Like I said, we're back out for the final round of the Tim Selinski U.S. Masters. Coverage brought to you by Nova and the PDGA. Huge thanks to you guys for bringing us out there. We got Barry Schultz, Dave Feldberg, tied at the top, George Smith, and Joe Revere. Pretty fun card, Marty.
Yeah, and George and Joe Revere both made big runs in the round previous to this, which was also at Ewing Park to get themselves on the lead card. And the round before that, Dave shot like a 15 down at Grandview.
Yeah, that was
to put himself in the lead card. So,
yeah. Why don't you give us some thoughts about hole one?
Hole one, I feel like it's misleading because if you've never played the course, you go out there and you're like, well, what is this? This isn't that tough. There's some trees in the way. It's, low ceiling. And, as you'll see as we progress through the videos, this course is beautiful and amazing and really, really tough.
It sure is. Dave hit a late tree. Barry had a beautiful shot. This is George Smith piping one up the middle. Looks like that'll work for the most part.
It should. And, this is one of the few out here that you definitely should get.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll see how that goes.
Wow.
Looks like we're gonna have a few that are definitely gonna get it.
Yeah, Joe threw that $200 USDGC rock very well. Got it super close. Feldberg.
Dave with his patented black putter. And I was there for that. I was standing 100 feet away. It was a lot farther than it looks on camera.
Oh, yeah.
It was a really big putt.
Yeah, that was huge. George Smith keeps pace with a birdie as well. Barry Stradlin, as a Barry is wont to do. Yep.
Barry Schultz. I don't know if he plays any tournament better than the Tim Selinski U.S. Masters.
He owns this thing, doesn't he?
He really does. He's only coming into this event. Of all the times he's played it since he turned old enough to play it, he's only lost it once, and that was to Schweberger.
Wow. Well done. Also well done is that first hole by our lead card, Star Frame Action. Up next is hole 2, Marty.
Hole 2, it's going to play a little bit downhill. There are so many trees there when you're standing on the tee. It doesn't look like there's a line, but there is a line on the right side, and I've seen some people play down the middle.
Yeah.
But really, you got to just chuck one down the right and just hit it perfectly, and there is, a nice little skip route.
That'll work.
And the shots are there. It just, when you're standing there, it's extremely intimidating.
It sure is, isn't it? Just a wall of trees, basically. Barry got pretty much pin high. It looks like Dave, despite that tree hit, is working out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he planned that roll. Yeah.
Wow. The professor, he drew it up on the chalkboard. George Smith, throwing a little Heiser flip.
George is playing that center line route. That's the one that I think if you're standing on the tee, it looks more reasonable.
Sure.
But it's because you really can't see that down the right side there's a lot of space. There are so many trees there that you really can't tell, but the line is there.
Yeah,
it's designed really well in that way.
I feel like this is one you want to play a couple times and really get a feel for it. It can really affect how you play it. Barry missed a putt, Marty.
Well, everybody does once in a while.
Not Barry, though. Oh, Joe with a good comeback jumper right there. That'll play.
Joe was part of, in fact, the feature of, I think, the best photo I've ever taken in disc golf. I don't know if anybody saw it on our Instagram or whatever, but he was behind the tee on one of the courses holding up a broom as if he was about to hit somebody with it, and it was just the greatest picture I've ever taken. And it was while someone was throwing.
Love it.
It was so good. He's such a funny guy. Such a fun guy to be around.
Oh, Joe's just fantastic, man. That was a par cleanup from Barry and George. Dave taking the lead with a bird right there. Joe tying George for third.
That's right.
Moves. Things are happening, Marty.
Yeah, and there was a big gallery here. You don't get to see it a lot during this post-production stuff because there's not a lot of angles, back towards watching the gallery. But there was a big crowd following these guys. We got a big downhill hole here. Not much to worry about other than the trees. You just got to get clean and get down there and hope you don't catch a weird roll on the little hill that sort of leads to the basket.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Dave hit a fairway or a tree about halfway down the fairway. Joe, this is looking pretty good. Yeah. I'll give him a putt. Barry with that signature form.
It's 409 feet. It doesn't quite play that long because it is a little bit downhill and because you can get on this grass here in Des Moines, you can get some nice skips.
Ooh, George with a roller here. Huh.
That is an interesting play. I mean, the course is very long. I mean, not crazy long, but long enough to where a lot of the holes, there are roller lines if you have the accuracy for rollers.
Yeah, sure. I don't think Dave threw that C-noose, but it didn't throw it very well. Had kind of an awkward stance there. George laid it up nicely. Joe gave that one a half go.
Barry with the Selinski.
Yes, thank you. Here is Joe for the birdie. Yes.
That was. They didn't have painted circles there, but that was close.
It did look close, yeah. Distance is so hard on camera. There is Dave for par, and he's going to have to settle for a bogey here.
He's not going to like that. This is not a bogey hole.
No, definitely not. Giving that stroke back to Barry that he just took. George going to clean up a par. Barry will do the same. Joe off to a hot start here. I think that's one park job and 2 jumpers. Yep, 3 down. He's only one off the lead.
Quick change of the lead. Quick change.
It is. We got Dave and Barry tied. Joe just one back of that. Exciting stuff. Hole 4, par 3, 347. Where are we going, Marty?
Well, let me just preface my descriptions with that. I played this course with your cameraman, by the way, both of which beat the pants off of me.
Yes.
But some of these holes, I'm not going to have the greatest description on. I'm not going to lie to you.
Fair enough.
I was there working, worked my butt off there. Me and Michael Downs, the event manager, both did to make sure it was a great tournament. But this course is a little tricky because a lot of these front 9 holes are pretty similar. It's just trees, and it's either uphill or downhill, and most of them are low ceiling.
Yep. Fairly accurate, sir. It looks like we're going uphill a little bit, pretty much dead straight. George hit a mid-tree. Gonna have to settle for par, most likely. Feldberg playing the hyzer flip.
You saw, 4 throws there, but it felt like 4 different lines that they were trying to take.
Yeah, totally. Really well done by Barry there. Or sorry, Dave. Here is George just laying up for the par. Joe gonna try and make another jumper. Low ceiling there, it looked like? Yeah. That tree kind of in his way.
He did have a few little branches in the way.
Yep. Looks like Barry went a little bit long. Makes that comebacker, no worries for the 2.
And both Barry and Dave, and I can't say that Joe and George weren't, but both Barry and Dave knew Tim Selinski very well.
Oh, really?
And several of the times that Barry has won this event, which is named after Tim Selinski, it's sort of his trademark to, he raises his hands and thanks Tim and says, "I love you, Tim." And the guy made a huge impact on the sport.
Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty ignorant to his impact, so that's cool to hear. Huge thanks to our sponsors, Innova Champion Disc and the PDGA, for getting this coverage out there. Marty, thanks a bunch, man. Really, really appreciate it. Hopefully the fans do too.
I hope they do. I know they do, whether they know it or not. We got a big par 4 here.
Ooh. Oh, I remember
I
this
think
one.
this is one of the best holes on the course, to be honest. This is... You have to have a perfect shot off the tee. You can land either side, and pretty much you're going to have a tough look.
Ooh, Barry hitting early-ish tree. He's going to have his work cut out for him here. Dave, going to go roller again? Oh,
It's
no.
there. I'm telling you, it is there.
Oh, no.
That is not where you want to be, but the roller is a great shot here. If you can play that low roller, that you don't need like the big sky hook out of it.
Mm-hmm. Now, he threw it last round. He was like 100 feet past everyone. Like, it was amazing. This round, slightly different results, Marty.
I threw it when I played against Corey.
Uh-huh.
And it's very similar results for me.
To third round or fourth round, Dave?
This round.
This round. That's unfortunate.
Probably worse.
Oh, no.
Also, he's much better.
Yeah, he can
much better.
He can definitely recover a little better than us. Here is Dave's second shot. Caught a tree again. He's not going to birdie this one. He might even bogey it. Door open for Barry right here with his second shot.
I almost feel like the phrase "caught a tree," like it's not even fair on holes like this. Like if you were standing on the tee, you'd be like, "Caught a tree." Like, is that bad? I don't know. Like they're everywhere. They are everywhere.
It's just what you do. Dave going roller for the third shot.
Third shot roller.
If at first you don't succeed,
try it again. Literally, so try it 2 more times.
Exactly. That one's gonna give him a putt for the par.
That is such a hard shot to pull off.
Like a touch roller.
Just a little touch roller.
Yeah, totally agree. George Smith, I believe that's his second shot after a great drive. Should be carding a birdie here.
He's making it look easy.
He is, and so is Joe. Wow, great drive. Joe is a full-on crusher.
See, look, he caught a tree, and it was fine.
he meant to, though. Here's Barry. Half go, gonna have to settle for par. Here's Dave, gonna try and save his par.
That is high. That is left. That is not what he wanted. See, he's a little frustrated.
He is, yeah.
Slapping himself in the head there.
Look like that nose got up a little bit there. George makes a very awkward putt for a 3. Well done, sir.
Great birdie. Birdie on that hole is, I mean, maybe not at the top of the field, but pretty much anywhere else in the field, you can feel pretty confident you're going to gain a stroke on most people.
Yeah, definitely. Joe doing that exactly with that birdie. Dave with a bogey. Barry with a par. That's a good battle going right here between these top 3 guys. And George getting in the mix, too. Let's see what we got going here. Yeah, Barry with 1 stroke over both Dave and Joe. George is just 1 back.
It's been a real back and forth. I mean, we're 5 holes in, and there's just no way to predict anything at this point.
No, definitely not. Hole 6 is coming up, guys. Par 3 481's pretty downhill.
It is. It's downhill. You got some guardian trees there in the way of the green, and you got a bunch of the smaller trees surrounding the basket. You got OB road behind it, and believe it or not, if you have the arm, it's not hard to go OB here. It's a little more downhill than the camera probably shows.
Mm-hmm. Wow. It looked like Joe got a pretty friendly little tree kick there. It actually, kicked him over to Annie.
Yeah, well, that can happen on this hole, but you end up with that look.
Yeah, that's not a very pretty look. I kind of like those trees, though. They really make you think about where to place your disc,
Yeah, I mean, you're better off leaving it short.
Yeah.
Because they sort of surround from the sides and around the back.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in a way, is going to save some people from going OB long. But at the same time, if you do what Joe just did, you throw a great shot, you're hole high. Well, hole high is gonna make for an interesting putt.
Yeah, it's almost worthless. You're just gonna have to pitch up anyway. It looks like Barry's in a pretty similar spot. I don't see much good happening from there. George faded out way early. Here is Felberg. Lacing one up the middle. Hook
coming
up.
Out to the right. Is he going to be right over by Barry and Joe? Nope. He's in a little better position. He caught the inside.
Yeah, it looks like he should be able to make that. Here is George from pin high left. Just going to be laying up for a par. Half go at most. Yeah. That's one you really don't want to go long on, especially from his side. You could slide under these trees and then not be happy.
See, this is, a great example. A great drive, nearly impossible putt.
Yep. And Barry not left with much easier.
Yeah, same deal there.
Really nothing happening right there. It looks like Dave's going to get a stroke on the card. That's a good one, Marty.
That is a great little comeback there from Dave. That should tie it up.
That's right. I believe Joe will remain one back as long as he makes this little tapper. Or dropper, whatever you want to call it. And George will clean up eventually as it gets done. Oh, once Barry cleans up.
Barry's got to clean up first.
He does. A lot of cool courses in this area, Marty.
Crazy amount.
Yeah, I was blown away.
This is the second time I've been to Iowa this year. Between Am Worlds and U.S. Masters, and a lot of jealousy. A lot of jealousy coming from me.
Same here, man.
Just a couple states over in Indiana. We got nothing compared to Iowa.
Man, I live in a city of 1 million people, and there's one legitimate disc golf course. So, yeah.
Same here, buddy.
Yeah. Really?
Same here.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Indianapolis has like 1.2.
Wow, that's kind of...
And I would say we have about 1.2 legitimate courses.
Dang.
So we just played downhill. Now we're going right back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, throwing over this little mound, a little dogleg right type deal. Dave throwing a beautiful Annie at it. Looks like we missed the catch on that, but it looked pretty good. Joe going to that money rock. Oh.
You can do a forehand here if you're righty. You can do an Anheuser. Both of them are going to kind of work. It's far enough off to the right that it's okay to throw like a skip forehand.
Uh-huh.
But, as we saw with Masters Worlds and as we see with Masters tournaments in general, you don't see a lot of forehands off the tee. You just don't.
It's so true. Oh, my goodness.
That wasn't bad.
That was like a foot away from an ace. Good run, Barry. Here we're looking at George. He's got to just lay this up, though, with the downhill low ceiling. Or he could run it.
I think he gave it a chance.
Yeah, I think so. Joe, who finished short right. He was giving that one a half go, too.
It's really not that much danger behind you. I think there's a good 6-7 feet behind the basket before it drops off.
Okay, gotcha.
From their angle, anyway.
Yeah. Felberg misses his two.
You're gonna only get one birdie out of this.
I think so. Yeah, George cleans up the par.
That's assuming Barry gets it.
Yeah, but it's a pretty safe assumption with the way that guy puts. Ooh.
Whoa.
Ooh, that one hurts.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, Barry.
We should not mention safe assumptions right before someone putts.
Accurate.
I know it wasn't about him, but
yeah.
In a way, I feel like I caused that.
There's Barry. Making the two, getting a stroke on the card, which is always a good feeling when you're on the lead card. And even when you're not, honestly. Felberg cleans up, and Joe will drop in a disappointing bogey. Yeah, there's that for Joe. Not what you need in a final round, but at least he's made some good ones before that.
So now we see George Smith, Joe Rivera falling off a little bit in a battle for third, but they're really not in any way away from, catching the leaders.
Oh yeah, not at all. Especially with this course plays, you have crazy swings all the time. Hole 8 is uphill for the most part, and then slight downhill over the crest. Dogleg right. Looks like Barry has the box. Probably going Leo here, you think?
Yeah, leopards and beasts.
Yep. I think that'll work.
I don't know that he has anything else in his bag. Leopards and beasts and rocks.
Yep. Felberg with another roller. Oh, it's kind of working.
I think it definitely worked.
Yeah.
It's a little farther out than he wanted.
Yeah, circle's edge putt, though. Dave's good at those. George Smith is up next. Taking the road less traveled. I like that line.
That's smooth. I mean, that's what you want to do. And again, this is one of, let's say, what is this, hole 8? One of 8 holes that you just don't understand how many trees are there.
Yep.
It's so intimidating from the tee, and it's never a flat shot, and it's always a low ceiling.
Oh, Barry missing a putt. Leaving the door open for Dave here. Looking at George for his 2, though. Ooh.
Something happened there.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't look like a smooth stroke from the beginning.
Yeah, it was a really slow take back. It looked just atypical for
Some
George.
sort of slight hesitation there. Would be right before he let go.
Yeah. I'll see if Joe can get that stroke back he lost last hole.
This hole has their number.
It does.
It's a mean one.
Yeah. Basket is 4-0 so far. George going to try and make the comebacker. That's a good putt right there.
It's a good putt, but if you're him, it's one that you didn't want to have to take to begin with.
Accurate. Joe's going to make his comebacker, hopefully. We shouldn't assume after last hole, but I can't imagine he'll do it twice in one round. Yeah, there we go. Cleans up the par, and looks like Dave and Barry will do the same. No birdies.
It's an interesting course when a hole like that has no birdies on the lead card.
Yeah, only 300 feet, but a weird shape and kind of a tough stick with kind of that downhill green with an anti-flight makes it hard. All pars. Barry holds on to 1 stroke over Dave, a couple over George and Joe. Hole 9 is up next, guys. Par 3, 256.
So we're coming up here. This is the last hole of the front 9. Continuing back up the hill towards sort of the parking lot. You can see the little trailers and the cars in the background. That's up by hole 1. So this is a pretty sharp left turn, but it's also really short.
Huh, okay. I remember Joe threw a different disc last time, hit a tree, changed it up, and it seems to have worked.
I think it's pretty fair to say that at this level, this is a birdie or die. This is, almost like a, hey, here's a free birdie.
Yeah.
You need to get this one before we head into the back 9. That's sort of the way it felt as part of the design. You come up, your car's there, you can refresh yourself, hopefully feeling good that you just picked up a quick birdie.
Yeah. Because
you really should. It is a tricky left turn, but with these guys, if you're not putting for birdie on this, you're losing a stroke.
Yeah, if you can't throw a good hyzer, you should feel shame. Joe Revere.
Wow, that was a very narrow route. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
There's no way that one worked out.
No, it did not work. This is not his hole, apparently. Here is Joe's second shot.
So, going back to what I just said, I hate, that it happens to such a great guy, but he knows it.
Oh, yeah.
He's not thinking anything different than what we just talked about. No. He knows you can't miss that line on the tee.
Definitely not. Dave misses the opportunity for a birdie as well. Gonna have to settle for par.
It looked like he was under the bush there. That was a tough putt.
Yeah, he went quite a bit long. Got a really big skip on there. George making a nice 2, acknowledging the gallery. And here is Barry for his 2.
Wow. I think he tried to knock the basket over, but it just stayed in anyway.
Wow. Hit the
Yeah, there
eyelet.
you go.
Yeah.
You owe that one to the basket, Barry.
Barry knows what's up.
Tim had his back there.
He did. Dave's going to make his comebacker for par. Joe should be dropping in for par as well shortly.
Dave told me that he and Tim were both really big into like trading cards, like baseball cards.
Oh, really?
So on top of having all the disc golf stuff in common, like they would, talk about which cards they wanted to trade each other.
Very cool. I wonder if they ever bet on them. It's possible.
Speculate.
It's possible. All right, guys, that's all we got for part 1. Marty, thanks for joining me, my friend. Always fun having you on.
Well, I hope I could come back for the back nine again.
Let's do it, my friend. Well, we'll catch you guys in part 2. Thanks for watching.